Hi friends, welcome back to my fourth video in the NSS series. So to understand this video, you need to first watch my other videos. If you have not done so, please just watch those first. That it all given in the description part below this video. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the extracted data to replicate tables in the report published by NSSO. So if you are able to match your analysis with the report, you rest assured that your understanding is correct. Basically, that gives you the confidence, and then you can do your own analysis the way you want. So let's see how to get the report first. So go to Google and search for MOSPI. You can see here this mospi.gov.in/data dissemination. If you go here, what you can see, you go scroll down. Here you will have something called download reports. You can see here there is a download report option. So just click on this download report, and here what you will get this NSSO sample survey. You can see NSSO sample survey reports. So just go to click on that NSSO sample survey report, and then you will be able to see that here this search box comes, right? So you just give consumer expenditure. So the moment you give consumer expenditure, here already in a national sample survey reports have been selected. So just say apply. So if you apply this, then it will show you the whole lot of reports which are corresponding to consumer expenditure survey. So you can see here these rounds are mentioned here. So which round report are this? So I will go to the end because 60 we are dealing with 68th round data. So 68th round data report will be available here at the end. You can see, you can click on this report, the key indicators of household consumer expenditure survey, expenditure in India 2011-12. So if you click on this report will open up. So once you open this report, then just go up. So this is the report which I have already downloaded in my laptop. Now what you want to do, you want to go to some table which is replicable, right? So let's say we are here. Let me tell you, we are right now we are dealing with schedule type 1, so which is meant for URP, that stands for uniform reference period, and MRP, measurements of monthly per capita expenditure. In the schedule type 2, the measurement changes to MMRP, that is called modified mixed reference period. So you can check those details in the description given in the report. Please read the definitions of each and every variable that you want to deal with. So that is very much necessary to understand the analysis part. So in the table which I have shown you, table number 2.2, let us go there and let's see what best we can do from that table. So I'll share once again this report here. So here you can see this report, the table number 2.2. Here what I will do, we will try to, because we are dealing with schedule type 1, so we will concentrate here, because we are not, so this is not, we are considering that is schedule type 2. So your the data set changes a bit. Most of the things remains unchanged, but some of the things might change there because of the measurement of monthly per capita expenditure in a different manner. So here, since we are dealing with schedule type 1, what we will do, we will try to replicate the number of sample household. Here what do you see? Here it shows the number of sample households. So here, if you look at Andhra Pradesh is having, there is a sample of 3927 from rural area, and there are sample of 2972 from urban area, and this is the total number of sample. So let's first try to replicate these numbers. Let us see whether we are able to get it. So before we get into this, I would like to explain this in a very simple manner so that you don't fall into trouble afterwards. So let us first get into a simple table which will be easier to understand. So let's go here. Uh, so to sheet one. So here you need to you can, in order to generate the number of samples, which file you can look at. You can look at file number one, that is data file number one, level number two, level number three. You can even come up with your number of samples from other labels also, but I suggest, since household file there is no repetition, it will be easier to calculate. So in household file, I have shown you in my data structure video that how the household files are stored, right? This household files are stored in this manner, let's say. Uh, okay, let me just, okay, I just rename here household number. So okay, it's not needed. Leave it. So what we are trying to do? We are trying to basically calculate a table like this. So here, given this data, we have to calculate state 1, state 2. Here there are only two states data. You can see there are two states, state 1, state 2, and sector 1, sector 2. Sector stands for the rural and urban variable. So in the first place, you need to know where those data are there, right? State and state, where is the state variable, where is the rural urban variable. So that you can get, if you want to find that out, you have to get into your layout file. If you get into layout file, you will see that v17a, v17a we have extracted in that manner. So v17a is our state name, state code, and V16 is our sector code, that is rural or urban. So if you get into for all the labels, you will find this V17A and V16. So we will choose a household file which is level 2. We'll come back to that part in a moment. But before that, let me try to tell you what are we going to do. So here, the state, we just want this rural and urban samples, right? So here you can manually count, right? How many households are there in rural area, from rural area in state 1? There are two households, right? There are two households. So these two households are from rural area in state 1. So how many households are from urban area? This is 2, right? Now, how many households are there in rural area in state 2? There are three households, right? So there are three households from rural area and two more households from urban area in state 2. So this is the output we want. And if you are familiar with data, then it's not a very problematic thing. But if you are not comfortable in data, it is for those who are doing the analysis for the first time. So in Stata, we have to manipulate the data in this way so that we can get this state-wise rural and urban samples. So for example, if I just take this data, I just copy this data to let's say Stata. Let me I just go here. Sorry, edit. So I just paste my data here. So state and sector, it's already there. So what I need to do, I need to just come up with the table which I have just now shown you in the Excel. So here, if you want to generate the table, what you have to do, you have to say by state and then sector, right? By state and sector, sort, I just say egen, what I want, the total samples, right? Total samples. So I just say count of state or anything you can say. So now if I want to see the table what got generated, okay, let me show you the data once more. So what do you see? The total sample in state 1 which is for rural area, 2 are here, right? So the same number gets repeated. So basically what Stata does, Stata adds these two numbers, whichever comes from the rural sector, and then it's put the number here in the new variable which is being created. Now, if you go to the second, first state, urban area, you see there are once again two households. So that's why two has been replaced. See, there are three households from rural area in state 1. So there are three households here. It's getting repeated 3 times. Two households are there from urban area in state 2. So that's why two is mentioned twice. Now you must be thinking this is a problematic thing, like the numbers are getting repeated, then how will I get the actual number? So that should not be a problem. You can just take the mean of these numbers. I'll show you how to get this easily. So just say table, I'll just say state, you just say sector, then say comma, contents, I just say mean of TS, total samples, right? So see, we get the same numbers what we got in Excel. So 2 for state 2, it's 3 2. So you can get this way the total number of samples from any household level, because there are no repetitions. So you can easily get it. You can get it from other place as well, but I suggest you do it from household level. That will be much easier. So now let us try this out. So I just clear my data set now, and let me bring this file level 2. Let me bring this file level 2 here. Just 1 second. Here is the level 2 file. So I have opened now level 2 file, right? We know this is a household file and there are no repetitions in the data. So what we can do, we know because V17A is the state variable and V16, V16 is the sector variable. So what I do, now we do the same thing by 17A V16 comma sort, you just say egen total samples is equal to count of, you can say V16, that will work. So let's check. So we are done. So now let's once again put this table. I can just copy this and change the state name to V17A, and then I can change this to V16 and then say contents TS, and let us see. Now see, it gives me the state wise. You can check, these are the these are the state codes, right? So state code 1 is for Jammu and Kashmir, state code 2 is for Himachal. Where you might be thinking, how am I telling these are the state codes? You can get into the supporting documents, and supporting documents will have a separate document called state codes. You will have a different separate another document for the district codes. So you can look at the state code, district codes from there. So let us just check one state at least, so that we can see whether we have done it we we have done it correctly or not. So let us check for this first state, which is our Jammu and Kashmir. So you just note down this figure. This is 2032 and 13. So this is for rural area, one is for rural and two is for urban. These codes you can get into, if you want to know these codes, then you have to go get into the questionnaire. So from the questionnaire, you will find that one code stands for rural area, the two code stands for the urban area. So for rural area, Jammu total sample is 2032. So let's check whether are we able to arrive at the correct figure or not. Uh, so where is my, yeah, here it is. So let's check. This is Jammu Kashmir, right? You can see Jammu Kashmir rural sample is 2032 and for urban sample is 1351. So you can check for others also. For example, let's check for Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh is 1658 for rural, 383 for urban. Let's go back and check whether we are getting the correct figure for Himachal Pradesh. You can check for state code 2, C 1658, that is the rural sample, 383 is the urban sample. So we have got the correct figure, right? Let me tell you one more thing, that you always don't need to look for the state name corresponding to a state code. In Stata itself, you can just give a name to 1, 2, 3, 4, and how you can do that? You can do that by using label command. So if you use the label command, I am not discussing here label command. You can search in Google to find out, or you can search just in the Stata comment box. You just say help label, then it will show you what is the comment that needs to be given to attach a label to code number 1, to attach a label to code number 2, 3. So once you attach those, so these labels will be reflected as and when you generate table corresponding to state. Now let's get into this some other table. So we will straightway, so we are into the report now. Let's straightway get into this one, appendix, because appendix gives you the file. So here I just show you one thing. If you start from, so appendix are detailed tables, appendix A. Now if you see here, what you can observe, that look at the table. It says table 1.1 are distribution of persons of each sector of, sector means rural urban area, of each state union territory over 12 classes of MPCE URP, right? MPCE URP. Now MPCE URP, if you want to look for, then you need to know like where this MPC URP is there. So MPC URP, if you remember correctly, if you don't remember, go through the questionnaire once again. And if even if that is not, so from the questionnaire you can get it. You can get and the questionnaire will indicate that in which level the variable is there. I can tell you this variable is there probably in level 3, level 11, but I tell you I will consider only the level 11 variable, because I have found that's the most consistent consistent way the level 11 gives data for most of the aggregated items. So we can get this MPC URP, and it says, look, this is rural, right? This is for rural area. So here it mentions you have state names here. So state names, so population has been categorized into these in this consumption bracket, and in this consumption bracket, how many people are there, right? How many people are there here? But before we get into this, let's do one thing. First, you look at this estimated number of persons, right? Estimated number of persons, this is 537895, and remember here there are 00, so you have to add two more zeros with this. then only you can get the actual number, because they, in order to reduce the space, they have given 00 on the top, so that it is applicable to all states. So let us first try to get this number. Let us first try to get this a number of estimated number of persons. Now see here, now we have, in the initial table we spoke about the number of samples collected from each state, right? Each state, and then rural and urban area wise. But here we are talking about not the number of samples. We are trying to project for the population. Okay, maybe in Jammu Kashmir there were 2032 samples from the rural area, but if you use that sample to project for the population, what will be the population, what will be the estimated number of persons, right? So if you want to do that, so let's get into data once again. So I told you earlier that when you try to project from sample to population, right? So you need to make use of those weights. Why? Because those weights are nothing but frequency. So each and every sample you see here, that's a representative sample of the population. So if you add, if you just know, like corresponding to a representative samples, how many households are there, that is given by the weights, that's the frequency. So if you add those numbers, then obviously it will show you the total number of projected households at the population level. Now here we are not talking about only households. If we had to calculate the total number of households projected at the population level, we would have just added the weights corresponding to state, and then by bifurcating it into rural and urban area. But right now the question is the number of populations, right? Number of estimated number of persons. So when you talk about estimated number of persons, what you need to do, you need to have the household size. Now you need to look for that variable, where is my household size. So if you get into level 2, I know, but you initially you might not know, so you have to check at each and every level, that where is the variable called household size. So if you check for the level 2 variable, and there is the serial variable serial number 4 will give you the household size. What is that variable? So basically v24 is my household size. So if I want to generate the total number of persons, what should I do? I should take v17a v16, because I want this number to happen in rural as well as for the urban areas. So I am using once again the same comment. So because why I'm using state as well as rural urban, because I want state wise as well as rural urban wise. So that's why the state and rural urban a variable that gets into the by variable. If I would have needed something more, if I would have needed to get into, let's say, district, so probably I would have added districts here, right? Then I can say within district, within a particular, like say within a state, and then within a particular district, then their rural urban bifurcation, those things we can easily do if we are using this common, right? So we say egen. What we are trying to do, we are trying to calculate the total number of estimated persons, right? So we say total persons tp, that's the variable we are going to generate, and we say sum of v24 multiplied by weight, right? So if we are using this command, let's see how it works. So basically, see what is this v24. V24 is the household size. So you can do this in two steps. You first have to multiply. So if let's say you have a household which is let's say in the sample, you have a household which is, let's say, having 4 members, right? And your weight says, like this household there are 100 persons, right? So how many people are there, then corresponding to this household there are 400 persons. There are 400 persons. There could be two household size, there maybe there are 200, weights given. So here you are getting once again 200, 400, and let's say both all these are coming from rural areas of a particular state number one. So what I'll do, we'll have to add these numbers, and then only we can get 800, that is the total number. So basically you can break this command into two parts. So basically what are we doing? In the first step, we are multiplying V24 with weight, and then we are summing these numbers. If it comes from the rural area, we are summing if from the same state, and if if it is coming from the urban area of the same state. So that's how this is happening. So let's see if we enter this, what happens now. Now once again I say, I can make use of this command. I don't need to really type once again. So here you can see these are the numbers plus to the power. So these are numbers which have gone like has many zeros. So that has been raised to this one, e to the power something. But you can, if you just say format those numbers, it will be formatted and it will show you clearly what is the exact number. So what I can do, I just show you how to format those numbers. So just say format, uh, just say format this one, and then regenerate the table if you have problem. Now you see there are no numbers which are in that for particular format, so you can get it the full number, whole number. So let us check for the this one. Let us check for the Jammu Kashmir once again. So it's saying so 76 lakhs, right? 76 lakh 18,710. So this is the total number of estimated persons in uh, rural area of this Jammu Kashmir. So let's check from the table first. So if we go to Jammu Kashmir, this is my Jammu Kashmir, and see 76,000, 18,000, 76 lakhs 18,000, that's 710 or something, that's what we got it, right? And some number of samples was 2032. So this is correctly giving me the figure that about the estimated number of persons. Now let's get into this part, that how do I count that out of 1,000 persons, how many people are there in different consumption bracket, right? So that means we have to do a bit more exercise, and let me just share with you my do file which I have already written here. Mm, so now see, in the first place, what you need to one variable which is your MPCE, right? Monthly per capita expenditure. That's what is needed. So if you have to get the monthly per capita expenditure either for URP or for MRP. So here we have considered considered the MRP figures because that will help us in other calculation as well. So we are not considering this one. We are not considering our MPC URP. We are considering MPC MRP. Now have a look at this MPC. What we need to do. So first we need to figure out where this MPC variable is there. So I told you earlier that MPC variable is in level 11. Level 11 variable serial number 49. So that is 1V1149. That variable is corresponding to the MPC URP. And if you check the questionnaire, those variables, that particular variable, it says that the numbers is in paisa. So first of all, I need to bring what? I need to bring my level 11 first, right? So now I need to merge this with label 2, because when we need to know the households, we need to calculate the total population, and we need to have a household size. Household size variable you may find in level 11, but I think that's not a very consistent variable in that level 11. So household size is more consistent, more number of data you will find in level 2. So we need now both. We need level 2, we need level 11. So what we will do, we will, in the first place, our level 2 data is open. So first we will bring level 11 data. How do we bring level 11 data? We will merge these two files. So level 2 and level 11. Once we merge these two files, level 2 and level 11, then you can understand, because I told you earlier, you can check once again, the level 11, there are 35 lakh observations. So 35 lakh observations, and in level 2, you have 1 lakh 1,662 observations. So you can guess, after merging, the data size will be of the level 11, that is 35 lakh something, 35 lakh 57,000 or something. Now, do we need to deal with the whole data set? No, for our present purpose, we need only one variable, and that is your MPCE MRP. So we don't need to really deal with the whole 35 lakh observations. Rather, we can cut down the number of observations, because we need only one variable serial number, that is variable serial number, that is 49. So V1104, so level 11 serial number 4th variable, that gives you the label, that is the serial number. So in that serial V1104, there is a serial number called 49. So we are saying just keep that number. So if you just do this, so let's clear everything we did, and then let me run this whole thing first. I'll just select, because this is my do file. I can I will just do till here. So I just execute my command in the stata, and let's see how it goes. So see, it has merged with, so I first opened my level 2, then I merged it with level 11, and when it merged, all observations, 35 lakh 62,593 observations got matched. There are no unmatched observations, so that's why it's 0. Now when I said keep if V1104 is equal to 49, then the number of count reduced to 1,01,662. We could have done this even before merging. We could have reduced the level 11 size to just exact to the household file size, and then we could have merged it, but I didn't go that way. You can think of doing that way also, that is also fine. So now that means the level 2 and level 11 is merged, and only 1,01,662 observations are there, so there is no repetition of the household, right? So this much we can conclude. Now in the next step, what you need to do, you need to first you need to, if you go to the questionnaire, I just quickly show you what I'm telling. uh, I just show you that questionnaire so that you understand better. Supporting documents, schedule type 1. So what I am saying here, just go down. if you go down here, just concentrate here. This item serial number 49, it says monthly per capita expenditure and it says rupees 00, right? Rupees 00 means this is in paisa, so you have to convert this into rupee first. So let's convert. That's why now in the next step, what we will do, I'll show you the do file once again so that you understand. So now, so this up to this step we have implemented. Now in the next step, what we are doing, we are generating the variable called mpce, which is my correspond, because v1104 is the serial number, right? And the value corresponding to that serial number you will find in the variable number 1105. So that value needs to be divided by 100 in order to convert that into rupee. Now what we are doing, we are just recoding that mpc variable according to the class that is given in the report, right? 0 to 5 to 5, that is class 1. 5 to 5 to 100, that's how class 2, and it goes on. You can go on till 2055 to 2055 to 625 to 625 is equal to 11. Otherwise anything greater than this is level greater than this is class 12. So what I am doing here after that, what I have written, because you see these classifications are meant for rural, right? So the table I have shown you, that's meant for rural. So you have to specify that these are for rural areas. So I'm saying, if do this categorization, if v16 is equal to 1 is the v16 is equal to 1 means this is 1, this 1 stands for the rural category. So I'm saying gen c, I'm generating a variable after coding, after classifying the mpc, generating the c. Now what I can do, now the moment I have created for only for rural area, then I have not created for urban area, right? So those cases will be missing. So what I am saying, in the next step, you just replace c is equal to 0 if c double equal dot. So if there is missing values, replace it with 0 values. So once again, now if you if you want to do rural urban analysis at the same time, that means you need to recode the urban areas also, classify the urban area monthly per capita expenditure. And if you look at the report once again, the table will show you, the next table will show you that the categorization for urban is say 0 to 725, 725 to 860, right? So that's how I have specified here. So I have taken all the categories from the report, as the report said, and then I'm saying if v16 is double equal to 2. So then I have generated another variable d. So what is the need of it? That I'll tell you in a moment. So now once I generated the variable d, you see I am saying once again replace d is equal to 0 if d equal to dot. Now see, in one, on one hand I have generated a variable for rural area which is c. On the other hand, I have generated a variable called d, which is for urban area. Now, if it is executed for rural area, that means those values are missing for urban area. And if it is executed for urban area, those values are missing for rural area. So now if I just add those two variables, then in one variable I will be able to get the whole category, and that will help me in future. So that's what I have done here. So I just said, you just check here that gen mp cat, so monthly per capita category is equal to c plus d. So that means my rural urban category both have come in the same place, right? So both have come in the same place. So I don't need to worry now. Now I can do my analysis in one shot. Now you see here in the next comment. So now basically what are we trying to do? We are trying to, we are trying to calculate this. So for each category, the number of, so 0 to let's say 525 first, it's just a matter of division. So in this particular category, how many people are there? I'm just saying, let's say X number of people are there. And then what I need to know, that in this rural area of, let's say Andhra Pradesh, so let's say AP, Andhra Pradesh, in this particular category there are x number of there are x number of persons. Then I need to know the total population as well. Total population, I just say y is my total population of rural area, right? So I need to just divide x by y. If I want to convert it into 1000, then I'll just multiply this with 1000, then only I can get this value. Now your job is to figure out what is this x value and what is this y value. Y value is my total population, and I need to count how many people are here. So here exactly that's what we have done here. If you look at the first comment, this comment, so by V17A, this is generating the total population. That's what we have generated in the beginning as well. And in the second step, if you see, we have added one more category. This MP cat is extra here. So this is by further bifurcation, right? As compared to the first comment. So V17A was there, V16 was also there. I am just adding one more category into it, which is my income category. Then I'll get to know how many people are there in that particular category. And then what I'm using the same comment. So total TPC, total let's say population in the particular category is equal to summation V24 multiplied by weight. This is what I have explained you earlier, so I'm not getting into it further. So now I just told you this is what is nothing but x by y by 100. So this TP is your variable which gives you the total population. This TPC is giving you the category wise population. So if I divide this TPC by TP, then and then multiply with 1000, that is what is written here, then I'll be able to get that category wise population. That's plain and simple. So here, that's why I have generated here category wise population just by dividing these two numbers generated. So this is my numerator, TPC is my numerator, TP is my denominator, multiply it with 1000, then you get. Now in this command, what we have done, we have just rounded it off. We do not want 6.8, we just want, if it is 6.8, round it off to next level, which is 7. So that's what we just wanted to do. In the next step, what you see, once again we want to see what is there in the what has come up, right? So for that, what we have done, we have, just a second. So we have just used the same command. That's what we have used earlier. I just want to know by rural, by state, and then MP category, that is my per capita income category, per capita consumption category. If it is V16, that is for only for rural areas, contents mean cat peer, right? That's what we have generated here. So let's now run these comments, this set of comments, and see what comes up. You can see here, this is for urban area, and the previous table, this previous table is for rural area because it says V16 is equal to 1. Now just quickly have a look at this this one. Let's say Jammu Kashmir. We'll check with Jammu Kashmir once again. So let us go back to the tables. And remember, this is what, because item serial number 49 is for MRP, so we can't look at this URP table. We have to get into the MRP table. So let's just move to F5. We have to find out the MRP here. So here you can check, this is MRP file, right? So MRP rural, that's okay. Now let us check for Jammu Kashmir. You see 7730, right? And then last two numbers, you remember 9383. The same numbers are there. If I show you once again, you will find the same numbers. 7730, 9383. That means this is the distribution. This is how you can easily get the distribution for each and everything. Now we will check the other component in that particular table. Let me share with you the table once again. So now let's check for this MPC, average MPC, right? It says average MPC rupees. So this is average MPC for Andhra Pradesh, which is 1563.21. Let us check whether these numbers we are able to match or how to get these numbers in the first place. So I will share my do file once again. Concentrate here. If you want to calculate the monthly per capita, average monthly per capita expenditure, what you need two things. You need total expenditure in the rural area divided by total number of persons, right? Total expenditure divided by total expenditure by all households, total expenditure by all households, and total population of rural area in a particular state, right? So now what we have done, we have already generated the total population. So we are not generating that once again. So what we are doing it here, we are generating the total income. We are generating the total, basically not total income, it's total consumption. So what we have written by V17A, V16. So we have to know what is the, let's say Andhra Pradesh, what is the rural expenditure. Andhra Pradesh urban expenditure, Jammu Kashmir rural expenditure of all households, Jammu Kashmir urban expenditure of all households. So we can club those numbers into rural and urban category. And if we do that, what we get, we say sort EGN total income, which is equal to sum. You see V24 is the household size, right? So because this is MPCE, in order to know a household income, I need a household consumption, I need to multiply this monthly per capita expenditure with the household size first, and then once I get that, then I can just multiply with that weight, and I can get the similar way we got things for total population. So this is a V24 multiplied by MPC gives me a particular household expenditure, and we know corresponding to that household how many people, how many households are there, right? So we know from it, we know this from the weight. So that's how we have multiplied these three, and we get the total consumption. So once we get the total consumption, this is our numerator. We have the denominator calculated already, which is TP. So here we are saying gen per capita expenditure, which is TI divided by TP. And then we are listing those values here. So basically using the same command, let us check how it goes if we just estimate this, run this command quickly. So let's just 1 second. So now just I execute this command here. Let us see now. I go back to my data screen. Yeah. I tell you what is the code for Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh code is 28. So this is Andhra Pradesh data, right? So 1563.214. And what did you see for Andhra? That is exactly 1563. We can go back and check once again. You see 1563.21. So these numbers are exactly matching according to the report, right? Now at the end, I told you I'll be calculating the poverty rates for India at the all India level, rural, urban wise, urban area wise. So let us see how to calculate that rural and urban poverty. So before that, I'll just take you to, if you just download the press notes on poverty, I'll share with you, which is already downloaded in my system. Just a moment. You can see this is the press notes on poverty 2011-12. So if you scroll down in this, because if we want to calculate poverty in the first place, we need to know what is the poverty line specified by the government, right? So here is the state specific poverty line as well as at the all India level. So here this is 860 is the Andhra Pradesh rural area poverty line. Urban area poverty line is 1009. Similarly, what is there for all India level? All India level poverty line is 816, and then 1000 for the urban. So this is what I need. And then if you get into the next level, it shows the number and percentage of population below poverty line by states 2000 using the Tendulkar methodology, right? So these poverty lines have been calculated, and let us just note this number. This is rural poverty line, which is 25.7. If you just go see, this is rural percentage of persons below poverty line, and then 13.7, which is the percentage of population below poverty line in urban area. So now let us see whether we can replicate these numbers using this consumption expenditure round. So I will show you what common is to be used for this. You can, I think by this time you have understood how to go do this. So first, see, I have, look at this common. So what I'm saying gen POVL, that's my poverty line, that's the indicator variable I'm trying to create. So basically I'm trying to classify households either into poverty or above poverty, right? If it is into poverty, we will say assign a value 1. If it is below poverty, if it is above poverty, we will assign a value 0. Now, in order to do that, what I need to do, I need to say poverty line is equal to 1 if MPCE. MPCE is the monthly per capita expenditure. Monthly per capita expenditure I have seen for rural area, if it is less than 816, that means the person is poor. And we are saying, we are assigning two conditions here. First of all, monthly per capita expenditure has to be less than 816, and second condition is that the person has to come from the rural area. So the moment you do that, there will be, because this comment has been applied only for rural area, not for urban area. So what it will do, it will generate a missing value. So I suggest whenever you run these comments, you run one after another. After running a comment, go to the data editor, check what has happened to your data, what changes have happened to your data, then it makes better sense. So now I'm saying just replace those missing values. So in the next place, what I'm saying, just replace POVL is equal to 1. So I'm saying those values which are missing values, now replace them with 1. If V16 is from 2, that is from urban area, and their MPC is less than 1000. So if these two conditions satisfy, then only replace those missing values. Otherwise, no need, right? So now, the moment I do this, now my poverty line, that poverty line variable has been generated, and some of the variables will be, some of the values will be 1 for some of the households, and for some of the households it will be 0. If it is 0, if it is 1, that means it's a poor household. If it is 0, that means it's a non-poor household, right? Now I need to count those poor households once again in at the population level. So what I say, because we are doing at the all India level, we are not doing for the state level, I leave it to you, replicate this analysis for the state level as well as rural urban. So we are doing this for the all India level to make you understand, and then you can carry out your analysis. So I'm saying by rural and urban count the poor. So by rural and urban sort region, this is below poverty line, this is the name I have given. Sum, and first function is this. So poverty line, see, if in a household, if one person is poor, if a household is poor, that means the whole household, all household members comes into that category poor, right? So that means I need to first multiply poverty line with V24, right? So I get to know then how many. So see, V24 has a positive number. POVL, that poverty line, has either a value called 1 or 0. So if that happens, so whenever you multiply these two numbers, those which are 0, that is non-poor households, that they won't come in the calculation even if I do the sum. And thereafter I multiplied with weight. So here in this part, those figures are only coming, which are in the poor category, right? Which are in the poor category. And now if we already have actually this calculation like rural urban population category, right? So we have just given a different name so that you don't collide with the already total population created variable, but this is the same variable which we have created earlier, v24 multiplied by weight. And then obviously if I say bp is the number of poor and this bpp is the total population, so if I just divide these two numbers, so that will give me, multiply it with 100, that will give me the total percentage population who are poor, right? So now since we generated poor, now we are in the next comment. What are we doing? We are just generating the table to see, whether we have done it correctly or not. Now let's quickly check this. So I just execute this command once again, and let me go to data. Yeah, it has come. See, 25.7 was your rural area poor and 13.7 was your urban area poor. So if you just round this up to 2 decimal or 1 decimal number, this will exactly be the same number what is there in the phase notes of poverty, right? So that's how you have to analyze the data. So I have shown you some of the analysis. Now you can continue with your own analysis. Wherever you want to do new analysis, just think of which variable you need and where the variable is. Then see if there are any repetitions of the households in the file. Segregate data according to your need. If you need to split files for a better understanding, do that. Please do that. Just to give you one example, I'll just give you one example and then I will close this session. Let me show you something. So go to Excel file. Let me show you here what I'm talking about. Let's go here. Let's say now your objective is to calculate the percentage of expenditure on food item out of the total expenditure, right? And where are those variables here? Those variables maybe you might find in level 11, like, and level 11 is structured in which way? This is the way the level 11 is structured. So corresponding to a household serial number, there is, let's say, so let's say household serial number 1. So it has all food items, MPC. I have just simplified this part, but let's say for all households you got these two values, but it's stacked in this way, right? It's in long format. Now you have, what you have to do, you have to divide basically 20 divided by 50, then multiply with 100, then only you can say that what is the percentage that is spent on food items out of the total expenditure. But it's very difficult to do analysis in this particular case when this data is in long format. So I suggest you split that data. Whole 11 level file, you split into two parts. You just you create one file in which you will have only the food expenditure items, and another file where you will have monthly per capita expenditure, so that you can easily do by either keeping or dropping that observations, right? So if you split those data into two data files, then you can easily merge those two to get all these in the same format. Or the other way of going about it, you just have to bring the data in wide format. If you can bring the data in wide format, then directly in one shot itself, all the variables here, all food items, MPC, all will become your all will become your column variable. So thereafter you can just say generate 20 divided by 50. You can easily generate the percentage share of food items, right? So this is how you can continue your analysis. So that's why I told you in the beginning that understanding the data structure is most important, because there are some questions, or that you might also come up with some question for which the data is not already in proper format. So in that case, you have to change the data structure according to whatever suits you. So that's why the understanding the data structure is very much important. So I just hope you find this useful, and in the next video I'll be dealing with the employment unemployment data, and I'll show you how to calculate the labor force participation rate according to different definitions of labor force participation. There are monthly, there are daily, there are weekly, so there are a whole lot of definitions, and I'll show you some other things as well. So if you want to get an update on this, so please subscribe to my channel without any delay. So thanks for watching.